Welcome back. USA Rare Earth striking a $2.8 billion deal to acquire Brazilian mining company Serra Verde as it looks to build its supply chain outside of Asia. The move also aimed at challenging China's dominance in critical minerals. Serra Verde among the only large-scale sources of heavy rare earths outside of the region. Washington, meanwhile, pushing to secure critical mineral supply chains and cut reliance on China. Joining me now to break it all down and what it means for the supply chain in America is USA Rare Earth CEO Barbara Humpton. Barbara, great to see you. Welcome back.
Thanks so much for having me back on, Maria.
Tell me about this deal and what's important to understand about the Brazilian mines.
Well, as you've just said, Serra Verde is the only producer of the heavy rare earths outside of Asia. And in fact, they have all four of the magnetic rare earths. And the brilliant thing the U.S. government has done is put together a special purpose vehicle supported by multiple government agencies, along with private investment, to make sure there is a 15-year, 100% offtake for that material, ensuring we have access to the materials that are needed for our economy and for our defense.
And you're basically going to have a steady growing market and magnet shipping as a result of this and what you're doing in Texas. Tell us why Brazil was important, even though you have such a big operation right now in Texas.
Yeah, what you'll see, Maria, and we've been moving at lightning speed to build a platform. What we're building is the value chain outside of China, giving the U.S. and our allies access to materials they'll need to fuel the economy. It begins with the raw materials. That's why Serra Verde is so important. And Serra Verde will complement the work we're doing at Round Top Mountain in Texas. But the key thing in this industry is being able to process those materials. We made an investment that we announced, and thank you for your help in getting the word out. We invested in Headquartered, a processor capable of processing and separating heavy rare earths, along with our own capabilities in USA Rare Earth. We'll be building up capacity to process the ore that comes from these deposits. But that's not all. Once you have those oxides, forming those into metal is key, and we are the owners of Less Common Metals, the only scaled producer of heavy rare earth metals, alloys, and strip cast outside of China. And ultimately, then, those go into magnets. It's a value chain because in addition to the magnet supply chain, we're serving many other aspects of the economy. We are up and running, and people, frankly, can't believe how fast we've been moving.
Yeah, you have been moving fast, and we've been with you all the way, having you on at every move to talk about that. What is the expectation then for actually shipping those rare earth magnets?
We are beginning to produce magnets now. The Stillwater, Oklahoma plant is coming online. I've been in touch with the leadership team there. As you know, we finished commissioning in Q1 on schedule, and I'm delighted with the way the demand is growing. Maria, we're beginning to see demand from players in the economy who recognize it's going to be important to have safety stock. So whether you're in defense, whether you're in healthcare, whether you're in energy production, having a supply of magnets and the key metals, perhaps even the oxides that you need in case of disruption, we're moving as quickly as we can to ensure we can produce all of those materials.
Yeah, and that is exactly what President Trump's priority has been for so long, encouraging companies to get their supply chains back to America to ensure that America has what it needs in terms of not just technology, but the military. I want to get your take on pricing here, because I know that China oftentimes dumps things in countries at much cheaper prices, and that's how they gain market share. But here's a little different. Not only are we talking about much cheaper prices in China, it's moving to tighten its grip on rare earths, proposing stricter controls, heavy fines on unauthorized, what they call unauthorized production. Barbara, compare the tactics that you're seeing coming out of China versus what you see in America.
Maria, for decades, China has sought to control this market, and they've used every tool in the tool belt, whether it was dumping low-cost materials onto the market, whether it was restricting access to markets like ours. And I'm going to expect them to continue to use all that leverage that they have. But here's the thing that's different this time. Not only the U.S. government, but our allies are working together. Things like the special purpose vehicle for Serra Verde shows you exactly how this can work. By giving price certainty over a longer time horizon, it means that providers like ours have the price signals, the demand signals that allow us to build and know that we will be able to serve a market economically. Now, once we do that, once we scale, we can come into price parity. There is no reason we can't. It's simply a matter of getting the traction. And this is why USA Rare Earth is emerging as the leader, the global leader in the rare earth space, because we're pulling together those links in the value chain, allowing each link to scale. Once we hit scale, we'll be leading the pack.
Now, what do you want to say about tariffs? There were some questions about tariffs on, tariffs off in terms of the rare earths coming from the U.S. or obviously from overseas. With the tariff refund process now underway and the future 301 tariffs still being probed by Jamieson Greer's office and perhaps 338 tariffs, what are your thoughts in terms of the cost here with regard to tariffs?
Well, listen, I think that what we see is the government taking action to help us build the economic sectors we need. They're using the tools that are at their disposal. It's a very dynamic environment. They're listening to a lot of businesses. We're going to continue to be a voice for making sure that we remove as many barriers to domestic production, to allied production, but then also use the tools we have to ensure that others aren't engaging in unfair techniques that would undermine our progress.
Yeah, and that is what I was referring to earlier in terms of China and the unfair practices there. When you have those rare earths and when you actually expect that there would be free flowing, you see prices much lower trying to undercut the United States. Ryan, this is a major issue for investors, but for a long time, they didn't have the supply chain changes that are now happening as a result of President Trump's agenda.
No,
Jump in here, Ryan.
It's incredible, and that price flooring is just a phenomenal key to this. And I'm just curious, I mean, 70% of rare earths still come from China today to the U.S. What does rare earth independence mean to you, and what's the time frame? And maybe you can talk a little bit about how you're using technology to do that as well, because I think that's a big part of the story here.
It absolutely is. And yes, you're right. What China has done is they have dominated this sector, and there are many elements where China controls up to 99% of the total global supply. I'm going to introduce the audience to one, yttrium. Yttrium, who knew? Semiconductors, aerospace and defense rely on yttrium for all kinds of high-performance missions. China provides that today. Now, USA Rare Earth, our own deposits will produce yttrium, and we'll have a supply outside of China. We have the ability to process it. And by the way, Less Common Metals has just demonstrated the ability to make yttrium metal. All of these strangleholds are ripe to be broken. There's a real key here with the use of technology to unlock our progress. Two examples. One is in the area of magnet formulation. Quantum computing can help us optimize material research. Things that had to be done through trial and error in the past can now be done through the support of technology. That's going to save us time and energy. And then likewise, the use of AI and digital twins. We're partnered with the Department of Energy, developing the digital twin of our mining and upstream operations. Look to this sector as the new tech sector.
That is just wonderful. Barbara, you are finding all of the deposits that the U.S. needs and ensuring that you're getting access to that. Anything you want to say about permitting in terms of what you need to see on a government level to accelerate this process, Barbara?
Well, this is going to actually be one of those tremendous moats that now we have built at USA Rare Earth. Serra Verde is already permitted. Serra Verde is already in operation. Our colleagues in Brazil, the brilliant miners in Brazil, and the country of Brazil making these resources available to the world, this is a very powerful asset that we will all benefit from. Meanwhile, in Texas, we have a real partner in the land commissioner, and what I've been thrilled at is people moving forward, recognizing their ability to pull down barriers and help us really meet this objective.
So the Round Top facility in Texas, when do you expect that fully churning out product?
Our plan for Round Top is we'll be finishing all of our feasibility studies within this year. We'll be building the mine next year, and at the end of 2028, we should be in full production there.
All right, we'll watch that for sure. Barbara, good to have you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria.
Barbara Humpton joining us. We'll be right back.